to Intermediate Level English Language Arts.
Hi guys, welcome to English Language Arts Grade 4, and our topic today would be conveying meaning through pauses and full stops, right? So when you are speaking, okay, especially when you're reading, okay, pauses and full stops are very important because they have very different uses. Pauses and stops would sometimes are used in different ways, okay? Sometimes they're used to give emphasis. Sometimes they're used to signify something, like for example, something is just an additional information. Or sometimes it's used to directly address someone. Okay, so here are some examples, okay? Number one would be when speaking directly to a person, you pause before or after his or her name. So example, right? Mother, the lady with eyeglasses is my teacher. 1 slash would be just a pause. 2 slashes would be a full stop. Okay, so there we go. Mother, the lady with eyeglasses is my teacher. You have a pause, a 1 to 2 second pause, okay, and then a full stop. Next, are you attending the meeting, Rosanna? Right? So, the pause there, sometimes you have a comma to signify a pause. Sometimes you don't. Right? But one thing's for sure, when you're directly addressing a person or you're speaking directly to a person, you have a pause. Next, when you have an appositive or nouns used as added information. So appositives, guys, these are nouns that are just additional information. So example, Mr. Gonzalez, the principal, is calling the teachers to a meeting, right? So the principal there is just an additional information talking about who Mr. Gonzalez is. Mr. Gonzalez is the principal. So here again, Mr. Gonzalez, the principal, is calling the teachers to a meeting, right? You have a pause. And you even have commas there, if you guys can see clearly, right? There are commas there to signify that you guys have to pause. Next one. Florante, the club treasurer, is collecting the membership fees. Okay? So again, we have here another example. The club treasurer there is just additional information to Florante. Who's Florante? He's just a club treasurer, right? And then the last one, okay? When you see commas and thought units, right? So thought units, guys, these are sometimes you have thought units, and sometimes they would be signifying like a certain group of thought. Okay, so sometimes when you have a certain thought and then you have another one in a sentence, you have that. And sometimes you see them with commas so that you would know that this is one group and then this is another group. Example, here's a group of sentences. We have I quarreled with my brother. I don't know what about. One thing led to another, and somehow we fell out. Okay? So here, guys, the first sentence there is, of course, you have a full stop there. Then next you have different thought groups, thought units. So for example, I don't know what about. One thing led to another, and somehow we fell out. This is one thought, I don't know what about. This is another thought, one thing led to another, and then this is another one, and somehow we fell out. So these are the different ways you use pauses and stops when you are reading, when you are speaking. Okay, again, they are used for different ways, different uses. Okay, so one is to adjust persons directly, another is for appositives, and the other is for grouping thought units. And this ends our lesson for conveying meaning through pauses and full stops.